In a world where everything is available at the click of a button, where pleasure is instant and effort is optional, becoming a true warrior, a man of strength, clarity, and power, is rare. Many men today walk around with hollow eyes, chasing approval from others, distracted by pleasure, and confused about their purpose. The path of the modern man has become blurred with noise, quick gratification, and digital addictions. But deep within every man lies something ancient, a primal call to rise, to become disciplined, focused, and driven not by external rewards, but by an inner mission. This is the path of the modern warrior. He is not a savage, nor a brute. He is calm, powerful, and precise. In a time when most men give away their energy, their seed, their health, and their attention to things that weaken them, the modern warrior rises by doing the opposite. He becomes strong because he chooses discomfort. He becomes wise because he learns through silence. He becomes successful because he lives with discipline and courage. But let's first look at the state of things. Many young men today are addicted to their phones, their screens, their habits. They wake up feeling tired, rush into social media, stare at women they will never meet, and then waste their seed to digital pixels that leave them feeling empty and guilty. They chase women who don't respect them, trying to earn validation instead of building their own kingdom. They eat food that makes them sluggish, drink alcohol that poisons their clarity, and skip the gym because they say they're too tired. And yet they wonder why they feel anxious, depressed, lost. It's not because life is harder than before. It's because they are being conditioned to be weaker. Every cheap pleasure they consume, every time they escape pain instead of facing it, they are giving away a piece of their power. And when you do this often enough, your soul becomes quiet. Your masculine energy, the deep force within you that wants to conquer, protect, and lead, starts to fade. You become a man in body only, but inside, you're just a shell. That's the sad truth about the modern world. It offers you comfort in exchange for your power. One of the most destructive habits is chasing women for validation. There is nothing wrong with loving a woman or having a partner, but when a man constantly seeks approval from women, it becomes his prison. Every compliment, every like, every reply becomes his drug. He measures his worth based on who notices him. Instead of building his vision, he builds his Tinder profile. Instead of mastering his craft, he tries to impress women who bring no value to his life. And this only leads to frustration, because the more you chase, the less you attract. Women respect strength, not neediness, and you cannot be strong when you're constantly leaking your energy, especially through things like pornography or meaningless sex. That's where semen retention enters the picture. It is one of the oldest, most powerful practices a man can use to regain control over his mind, body, and soul. When you stop releasing your energy all the time and you start to preserve it, something changes inside of you. You become focused, your eyes sharpen, your voice deepens, your purpose becomes clearer. You begin to walk differently. That energy starts building inside you like fire. And when you direct that fire into your goals, into business, fitness, creativity, you become unstoppable. Another problem is the addiction to cheap dopamine. Men today are overstimulated and underdeveloped. They get hits of dopamine from scrolling, eating junk food, watching endless videos, and drinking. But those things don't nourish them. They rob them. The more dopamine you get from cheap sources, the less motivated you feel to do the hard things that build real strength. That's why working out becomes boring for many men. That's why reading feels like a chore. That's why building a business seems too hard. Their brain is trained to enjoy shallow highs, and now they cannot handle deep effort. But the modern warrior doesn't live like that. He disciplines his dopamine. He starves the noise and feeds the signal. He trains his brain to enjoy discomfort because he knows that on the other side of pain is growth. On the other side of silence is clarity. On the other side of resistance is freedom. To become a modern warrior, you must train your body, your mind, and your spirit. This means developing a consistent workout routine, not just for your looks, but for your discipline. Every time you show up to train, even when you're tired, you remind your body that you are in control, not your emotions. You sculpt yourself into a weapon, not to harm, but to protect. Your muscles become symbols of your consistency. You must also build your mind. Read books, write your thoughts, sit in silence, get comfortable being alone, cut down the noise. The warrior sharpens his mind through deep focus, learning skills, and solving problems. He is not a boy who reacts to every feeling. He is a man who responds with calmness and action. And finally, the spirit. This is where most men are empty. They have no higher connection. They believe in nothing, so they stand for nothing. A modern warrior must reconnect with something sacred. This could be God, the universe, or a deep inner compass that guides his actions. When you believe your life has purpose, your actions carry weight. You don't live recklessly. You live with intention. This spiritual grounding is what makes the warrior peaceful in the storm. He knows who he is, and he knows what he stands for. And this deep power cannot be taken away, even when life gets difficult. Now let's talk about alcohol. Many men drink because they want to escape, not because they enjoy it. They drink to fit in, to numb their stress, to feel confident temporarily. But alcohol poisons the body, clouds the mind, and weakens the soul. It robs you of energy, clarity, and progress. The warrior doesn't need to escape life. He faces it head-on. He drinks water, eats clean, rests well, and fuels his body like a machine built for war. Because he knows his mission requires full power, not half energy. Discipline in the body leads to clarity in the mind, and clarity leads to execution. This is how success is built, through small daily victories, stacked on top of each other like bricks. What most men don't understand is that success isn't some magical explosion. It's quiet, disciplined, repeated action. It's waking up early when no one is watching. It's doing the work even when you're not in the mood. It's saying no to temptations and saying yes to your mission. That's what separates the warriors from the weak. The weak man always needs to feel good before he acts. The warrior acts and then feels good, because he knows he is doing the right thing. You will see results when you stop waiting for motivation and start creating momentum. The journey isn't easy. There will be days you want to quit, days you feel lonely, misunderstood, or drained. That's when you remind yourself, I am not like most men. I do not give away my power. I build it. I am forging myself through fire. I am becoming the man I was always meant to be. And when you start living this way, everything begins to change. You stop chasing women, and they start noticing your energy. You stop begging for opportunities, and you start creating them. You stop complaining about your life, and you start shaping it with your bare hands. You look in the mirror and see not just a man, but a warrior. And you carry that energy with you into every room, every conversation, every battle. This path is not for everyone. It requires sacrifice, patience, and courage. But the rewards are beyond anything cheap pleasure can offer. You gain your self-respect. You earn the respect of others. You walk with a calm power that cannot be faked. And you live a life that matters, not because of what others think, but because of who you become. Reclaim your power. Let go of the things that drain you. Stop chasing what weakens you. Start building what strengthens you. Keep your seed. Guard your attention. Train your body. Elevate your mind. Deepen your spirit. Live like a warrior in a world full of weak men, and when others see you, they will feel something ancient rise within them, the silent knowing that they too were made for more. You will lead not with noise, but with example. You will conquer not by force, but by presence, and you will succeed, not just in money or fame, but in becoming a man of greatness. That is the way of the modern warrior. That is your path. Walk it with fire. If you made it until here, leave a mind emoji in the comments. I want to see how many of you reach the end and are truly willing to finish what you start. And remember, together we are unstoppable. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and stay strong.